It's like, you get on the bridge and it's like, what is this thing rated for? Oh, about 200 pounds. Give me the one that's rated for like an elephant.
Welcome to Chewing the Fat. I am your host, Big Rob. I think we're up to episode 3 now. It's been an amazing journey so far. Thank you so much for taking this along with me. Today on Chewing the Fat, one of my best good friends, Dale Thomas, is joining me. We're going to talk about where we got introduced to each other and some stories from the radio road and things like that. So, Dale, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, dude, I appreciate it. Anytime we can get together, that's always a priority in my life, to make time so that we can hang out and catch back up. I mean, we spent 10 years together, pretty much.
Yeah.
10 years working radio here in the Augusta area together.
Long time.
I think we started about what, 1998, 99?
I came in at 99. Yeah. January of 99.
Yeah. And I think I came in like June of 99.
Yeah. You were just a couple months, but you had been working radio, before that, but with the same company with us. It was, just like right after I did. So we went through that, took that long, strange journey together.
Yeah, and gosh, I talked to another friend on another episode about how cool it is when you can go into a place that you're looking for a paycheck. Basically, let's face it. When you get a job, you're looking for a paycheck. You got bills need to be paid, but when you can find lifelong friends in places like that, and sometimes you forge those friendships from adversity in the job itself. So,
yeah. Here's it's the old, here's some chicken poop, make chicken salad.
It still has chicken DNA in it, basically, right? I mean, it's some part of a chicken in it, but yeah. But so thank you for being here. You are an amazing actor, a voiceover artist, let's see, what else have you done? A chocolate sauce dancer.
That didn't go over so well. That was a one and done.
It was a one night only engagement.
If you were there, I apologize.
Let's see, what else have you done? You an English major, right? English major. You're a poet. You write some amazing poetry.
Oh my gosh, you're making my head huge.
Huger. Humble as all get out. But one of the biggest, kindest hearts I've ever met in a human being as well.
Thank you.
What are you doing now? What's going on now? It's been, let's see. We haven't worked together probably in, 7-8 years, maybe something like that. Mm-hmm. We both were not far separated victims of reduction in force, they like to call it.
Yes.
But we've stayed in touch. But what are you doing now?
Currently, to keep the lights on and put some bologna on the table, I'm an insurance salesman.
Okay,
so I'm working in that business. But hobby wise, I don't know. I've picked up a few things in the last couple of years that have kind of interested me.
Okay, like what?
Some sartorial interests. I've always liked kilts. Always wanted one, even back when I was in my early 20s. But
you're very proud of your Scottish heritage,
yes,
right?
And I want to thank you because actually I'm Laird Thomas. Thanks to you. Yes.
Laird Roger Dale Thomas.
I own a swath of land in the homeland in Scotland. And one day I hope to visit it and put my foot on it. And hope it doesn't overlay on someone else's foot of land.
Right.
But yes. But yeah. And I've always had an interest, but back pre-internet days and everything, doing any research, looking into getting, I wanted a kilt. I always loved the way they looked, and they were so expensive. Back then they were $400 or $500. They had to be bespoke made, and I just couldn't afford that. But then discovering some places in the last couple of years where you can find quality stuff at a much lesser price, I've started to build a small collection. And so, I've kind of gotten into that. Another thing, fragrances. As a matter of fact, hold on, sorry for the Velcro. That's my Sporin open.
Yes, he's here in one of his kilts right now.
Yes.
What is this tartan that you're wearing?
This one is a universal tartan. It's not affiliated with any clan.
Okay.
It's called Isle of Skye, Skye. Skye.
Yeah, that's one of the islands in Scotland.
Yes. And this one is fairly contemporary. I believe it was designed in the 90s, but it's a very popular universal tartan. You have certain ones like Black Watch, Brown Watch, things like that. You don't have to have any family affiliation. Actually, anybody can wear anything they want to.
Okay. I was going to be my question. I was going to ask, can so you're a Thomas, which the ancient Thomas is McTavish, correct?
Yes.
So I was going to say, do you have to only wear Clan McTavish or a modern Thomas?
No. Pretty much you can wear whatever you want.
Okay.
There are certain ones that are restricted, like for the royal family. Or for certain entities, the royals, they have their own certain ones that only they can wear. But for the most part, you can wear whatever you want. Just be respectful of it. If you're wearing some other family's tartan, just be respectful of it. And another thing that I've gotten into is fragrances, men's fragrances. As a matter of fact, I brought you a wee little gift, a decant of one of my favorite ones. That is. It is Salvatore Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Blue. It's what's called a blue fragrance, and it's not because it's colored blue, but in the fragrance community, the frag heads, blue fragrances are they're ones that you can wear pretty much year round. They're not like really super strong that you would want to reserve for the winter, or a freshie that you would want to wear in the summer. You can wear those year round. They're office safe. So if you got somebody, you don't want to wear something really super strong in the office.
Right. If they have allergies or something like that, or sensitivities and stuff like that.
Blue fragrances are just very broad, people pleasing fragrances. And that's one of my favorite ones. That one's Acqua Essenziale Blue. And I wanted to bring you a little decant of that to see.
I appreciate that. It smells very, very nice. I do like the lightness of it. And there's like a hint of like, there's almost some woodsy kind of thing, but not a musk. There's no musk in it. I'm not a huge like musk type fan, but it's almost also has some like ocean-ish kind of.
Yeah, it has some aquatics in it.
Yeah.
Notes in the breakdown.
That's really nice. What I usually wear is off the shelf stuff is a Prada Luna Rosa.
That is a very, very good one.
Yeah, I love that scent. So thank you for introducing me to this. I'll have to ask you what that name is again.
You're welcome.
Because I will definitely forget that. I'll have to write it down. But it smells great.
I never pay retail. I go to discounters all the time. Yeah, fragrancenet.com or FragranceX.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's a pro tip for you right there. I appreciate that. So we got your Scottish heritage, your fragrances. Anything else you got going on? I know you've got a big strapping boy.
Oh my gosh!
He's starting to play JV ball in high school. Is that right?
Yeah, he's going to be playing this year. He went out last year for the middle school team on a whim. They had already set the team up, but they didn't have a kicker. They made an announcement at the end of the day and said anybody who wants to come out and try out for kicker, be at the football field. So
now he was playing soccer prior to that, right?
Yeah, he's played soccer all his life, and so he was like, I think I'll play football. So he went down there in tennis shoes and blue jeans and won the kicking position.
Wow!
Now they did have a young lady on the team that kicked some, but he did the primary kicking, the kickoffs, and actually scored a field goal for one of the only field goals in middle school that has been kicked in years because they just don't do it because
Yeah, I mean it's just usually not a play that's called for. Or anything, they usually take the conversion or whatever.
Some schools don't even have a kicker; they have to go for two every time they score a touchdown. And so he did that, and so he's they've been doing some preseason practicing after school the last couple of weeks, and so he's been going out there kicking with them, and also has an interest in maybe trying out for backup quarterback because he's got a rifle for an arm. He just has to learn the position. And so, yeah, we're really excited about that, and they're wearing him out, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I saw on your Facebook page he had you were taking him into the Isle of Skye and the Scottish Heritage.
Him into it. Yeah,
I saw him in his kilt going to school, and also you guys have done like the Highland Games or the Tartan Games or whatever up is in. It's just South Carolina or somewhere like that.
It's just outside of Columbia in Casey, South Carolina, at the old racetrack. They do last year and then this year because they do it in the spring. They've had to because of COVID,
right?
But years previous, it's called Tartan Days South, and you go up there and it's really neat. They have lots of things. They have food from the British Isles, haggis,
yes,
and various pipe and drum bands that march through periodically. They have the Highland Games. They have a car show of British and I guess British cars. I don't know if they make any in Ireland, but the only one I ever knew from Ireland was the DeLorean, and I don't know if they had any of those out there, but I
don't know. They might have Doc Brown show up or something. You never know.
He decided he wanted to wear his to school, and so I was like, all right, man, go ahead, knock yourself out. So I helped him gear up, and he got quite a response from it. It was pretty cool.
That's good. That's so good. I mean, because unfortunately, even for the world having been shut down for a year, and then integrating back into kind of face-to-face life and things like that, and then add on it's high school. Because high school can be so hard already. And there's always these, predeterminations of who's cool, who's what, and kids can be, so cruel. But for him to be like, you know what, I'm proud of my heritage. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. And to step boldly into it, I applaud you, Will, for that. And you, Dale, for standing behind him and be like, yep, let's do it. And again, for it to be it sounds like a very positive thing for him, for his, standing up for himself and his heritage, and then maybe giving courage to other folks to be able to be themselves as well.
Yeah. I was really, really, really proud of him for doing that. So, kudos to him, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Dale, this is the time in the show where we like to ask that question. We worked together for a long time. We've had some discussions, some deep, real talk discussions before.
Yeah.
And part of this show that I want to, for folks to realize is, there's a commonality that goes amongst humanity that, everybody gets down sometimes. Everybody has those dark days, those depressed days where maybe you just want to cry. Maybe you're not even realizing that it might be a form of depression. You just feel like you just need a day to cry and not do anything. Just eat fudge Ripple out the freezer and just cry. That's okay, because everybody has those kind of days. So, Dale, I want to ask, how do you stay positive? How do you keep the dark at bay?
I think one thing that can help, and I don't, is find things to occupy your mind, things that make you happy. Our brain is just basically just a big lump of fat that's ruled by chemicals and electronic impulses. And if you can find something that gives you just like a little bit of joy or a little happiness to release that dopamine that makes you go and I've found like I said, going back to the various interests, and I know some people like shopping. They're like, why do people like to shop? Especially, not to sound stereotypical, but a lot of men say, why do women like to shop so much? Shopping makes you feel good. And you don't have to spend a ton of money, but
just even window shopping, just browsing, just looking at the stuff out there.
Yeah.
Like I say, it allows you to focus on something else, to not be stagnant. And I think those are the times that when you get stuck in that, alone and that, like, what's going on, you have to find something to occupy your mind. And things like you're saying, researching like the different clans and tartans and things like that. That type of stuff. It triggers a different part of your brain to do that research. Going to shopping, that triggers a different part of your brain to basically you're doing research on what outfits you like and what you don't like or whatever. Yeah, I think that's why, like, I, took up a pottery class earlier this year.
Sure.
Just again to learn a new skill, because I've always had a something within me, because I can do this. I can do, radio stuff, and I can do voices and act on stage, but I can never create anything tangible. Everything that I could create was intangible. It was either, something recorded or something oral or there was nothing physical. So I was always in awe of people that could create things physically, carpenters, artists that could actually draw and create and paint. And pottery was a great way for me to kind of be able to create something tangible and to focus on that, and also just get into that flow of the creation of that type of stuff and feeling the clay. There was something calming about just that tactileness of it. So,
yeah. Things like that. That is amazingly fun. You did something a little while back that I actually want to do. You went and actually made your own knife. You forged and sharpened up a knife. From a railroad tie.
Yeah,
you made something to kill somebody with. So or
open letters,
charcuterie board.
I just open letters with it.
There you go. Well, that's my skiing dude. Whenever I ordered it, it actually came in a box labeled letter opener, but it's my sock knife for my kilt. But that even and you don't even have to spend the money on the shopping. Like, I found it, like, I get happy sometimes just going on, like, talking about the fragrance sites. I'll go on and I'll watch YouTube videos from reviewers, and I'll go and I'll just load up my cart. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I'll go pare it down. I'm like, well, I think I don't really need this one. Don't really need this one. And I'll leave 3 or 4 or 5 in there. I may never buy them. They may go out of my cart before I buy it.
Right.
But I felt like I've done something, that's a lot of fun. Something else that that I've found is actually, I think has been helping me lately is I've been trying to take a little better care of myself physically.
You have lost a ton of weight.
Thank you.
You have lost it. You look great.
Thank you.
Every time I see you, I hate you and I love you all at the same moment, because you do. You look great.
I appreciate it, man. It's been tough, and I got what I did. I started out just trying to eat a little better, and it wasn't necessarily so much to lose weight, but it was to try and get my blood sugar under control. I'm a type 2 diabetic. Get my blood pressure under control. So I started eating a little better, and I noticed I was losing a few pounds. But then I got to a point where I sort of plateaued. It's like, okay, no matter what I do, I'm not losing any more weight. So then I started going to the gym, and that really has kind of kicked in. And when you do that, I found that when you work out, yes, you sweat and you hurt and all this stuff. But your body releases endorphins, and you when you get done, it's like you're about to fall over, but you feel good.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. What do they call it? The runner's high for like marathoners and stuff like that. And that it's just at the end of it, you are exhausted. You just laid out, and you muscles shaking, but you feel so good about it. That's amazing.
And so I've felt good about that, and then glancing in the mirror every now and then, being like, okay, you know what? You don't see the daily progress, but you look and it's like, okay, you know what? 2 weeks ago, I didn't look like this. I look a little bit different, and it's not any huge drastic change, like any Dr. Banner or anything. And I'm not turning green. I'm very pasty. But that helps. It helps. It gives me something that it's like I could feel a little bit better about myself, because I've always, my whole life, ever since I don't know, maybe second grade, I've struggled with weight. And, even in high school, when I was played a couple of sports in high school, worked out all the time, I still was kind of husky. And now I'm really close to being at the size I was back then. And so it gives you a nice feeling, be like, okay, sometimes it's frustrating because you get on the scale and it's like, okay, I ate right, I ate clean, I did my meal prep, I did my measurements, and I worked out, and I came home and I gained half a pound.
Right.
How does that happen? I drank a gallon of water. Then you go to the bathroom and it's like, oh, I actually lost a pound.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Now it's gone. But yeah, and like you say, I mean, it's focusing on something else. It's putting your mind to work and not letting your mind work on you. And again, the thing is that everybody has the ability to do that. I'm no professional. I'm no counselor or anything like that. My whole point of this is that everybody has these times, and being able to recognize that, hopefully give someone hope.
Yeah.
That just to know you're not alone. That's why it's like we're just regular people, and everybody kind of has those days. Everybody has those times, and this is just how I get through it. How Dale gets through it. How how each individual kind of gets through it, and maybe that's something that will spur you on to think differently, to try something different, to not let it overtake you. Because I mean, I'm cheering for you. I'm a big cheerleader type person. I love seeing people succeed. I love seeing people grow. I love seeing people find their passion and explore those things, because I think that's what everybody should be able to do. That everybody should be able to be happy and feel fulfilled in their life. We get this one shot.
Yeah.
I tell folks all the time, that time is a commodity that is non-renewable. It's once you spent this minute, that minute is gone and you'll never get it back. So don't waste it. Don't waste it. Make sure that you are doing the things that bring you joy, bring you happiness, bring you fulfillment, and understand even during some of those times, there can still be good stuff that comes out of those times where you get reflective and you work through those feelings maybe that you had of inadequacy or man, I'm so fat. I tell folks all the time, they call me Big Rob. It's not because there's any other reason that I'm just a big man. I'm an over 400-pound man. Okay, 6 foot tall, 400 pounds.
A lot of you to love, man.
Yeah. But I have learned to accept that. Do I want to lose weight? Absolutely. Do I try to lose weight? Absolutely. Does it always happen? No, not all the time. But I've learned to become comfortable in my skin, and it takes the power away from those voices that want to call me fat in my head. That want to say, well, you're not good enough, you're too big, you're too blah 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but you know what? I own it. I own that's part of who I am, and so I take that power away.
Yeah,
and I think there's something just really magical in learning to be able to take that power away, take the weapon out of that enemy's hands. When
you own it, then you mold and manipulate it to be yours, and you do what you want with it, and you can use it to either inspire you or break you down. And and one other thing too that I would be remiss if I didn't mention is for the last couple of years, I've been in a really good relationship. I when my ex-wife and I divorced, I really didn't. I went out a couple of times, literally a couple of times. That's about it for years and years and years. And a couple of years ago, reconnected with an old girlfriend from 30 years ago. Actually, more than 30 years ago now. And just so happened we were both in a place in our life where, we kept in touch off and on through the years, saying hi and about it. But we were both at a place where, we could say, well, let's get together. Let's just talk. Let's see how each other is doing. And it's morphed into something, to a really good relationship. And I think just having somebody that you can just talk to, even if it's not to just to pour out bad stuff, and just complain to, because honestly, nobody wants to be that sounding board. It's like, oh my gosh, all you ever have to say is complaints.
Right.
but to talk about the good and the bad, just somebody to listen to you, and then somebody you can listen to, and I think that's really important, and understand not everybody has that. I didn't have that for years. You know, there was nobody I could really just talk to that I felt like, but gosh, if you got somebody in your life that you can understand what an incredible resource that is to just have somebody that you can just sit on the couch with, and it's like, tell me what all happened with your day, what good, bad, crazy, boring, and then I'm going to tell you what happened with my day, and then we're going to look at funny TikTok videos.
Right. But I mean, and that's it. It's that, you are two souls separated by time that we're still the same people, just like me and you are the same people, just like everybody. Listen, we're all the same people. We all have these same times, and to be able to share it, going to getting quote unquote therapy or going to counseling doesn't mean that you got to lay out on a couch. Yeah. It's having a conversation. I mean, this is therapeutic to me and you talking. Yeah. Whenever we get together, that's therapeutic to me. Just the crazy random stuff that we talk about and the memories of the stuff that we did and can't believe that we did. And
thank God that the microphones are not on for most of those conversations because
if they had been like, we were in it when there like videos on phones were not as prevalent as today, and the quality of them, it was like a little blue dot. You couldn't have, it was just a blob and a blur and really pixelated. You couldn't tell who.
Played Snake on my flip phone and thought I was something, man.
That's right. I was never able to win Minesweeper. Man, we would probably be in trouble for a lot of the stuff that we did. Although there is photographic evidence and of some of the stuff we've done. We've been on the news a few times. We've also mentioned in a New York Times best-selling novel. Not a novel, but a book as well. It's.
Made the Reuters news feed.
There you go. Yeah. So, we probably are pretty lucky sitting where we are right now, not sitting behind bars.
Both hands are free. They're not, connected with a 4-inch chain.
And don't have like one of those ankle bracelets on, and I can't leave the house or anything. So, yeah. So again, just spending some time with people that you love and people that love you back is such an important thing.
Absolutely.
All right. It's that time.
Uh-oh.
Fast Five.
Uh-oh.
Fast Five. I don't have a theme song yet for Fast Five. I need to work on that. But it's the Fast Five. So the Fast Five, this is
you use that royalty free.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. If I'm going to need to get you signed this release for me, so you won't have your lawyers coming back after me or anything like that. So these are 5 questions I'm pulling from the Poddex app. Poddex app created by my friend Travis. It's for podcasters. It's basically conversation starters. Even if you don't have a podcast going on, check out Poddex. They have physical cards as well as the app. But it's great conversation starters. If you need an icebreaker at work, somebody says, hey, I need you to give a speech before this thing, check out Poddex. It'll be a great way to start a conversation. But we got our Poddex here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the random button. We'll get your first question. Name one thing on your bucket list.
Skydive.
Really?
Yeah. I'm terrified of heights. I'm acrophobic.
Oh.
And I want to jump out of an airplane.
Don't really?
Yep. Don't want to bungee jump because I'm too heavy. And those bungees, it's like, you get on the bridge and it's like, what is this thing rated for? Oh, about 200 pounds. Give me the one that's rated for like an elephant.
That's right. Can we
for Operation Dumbo Drop. I want that
all
one.
5 of these together and braid them together.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. And plus, bungee jumping, I've heard of people going blind from the sudden stop and pull. They have retinal detachment.
Oh, wow.
Did I say retinal?
Retinal.
Yeah, the retinal falls out of their e-ball. I want to skydive, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Tandem, or do you want to go solo?
Well, if I got to go, I'm taking somebody with me.
Okay.
That's
great. All right, number 2. What could you do all day and not consider it a waste of time?
Oh, that's a good one. Ride my motorcycle.
Ooh, yeah. So what kind of bike you got?
It's an older one. It's a 2003, but it's a Yamaha Roadstar 1600. So she's a fairly good sized girl. She's big enough I can go on an all day ride and not have to worry about overworking the engine. Or just throw my son on the back. We actually have taken one longish trip. We rode up to Clemson.
Okay.
About a year and a half or so ago, and that was nice. It was a couple hours, about 2.5 hours up. Actually, we had to hit a detour, so it was close to about 3 hours up, but about 2.5 back down, and that was good. But I love to ride. Now I got to pull over every now and then because your butt starts to hurt.
Right.
But
right. But definitely not a waste of time. So any time on the bike is not a waste of time.
No, wind therapy. You're talking about different types of therapy. Wind therapy, a little in my face. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Number 3. What futuristic thing from a sci-fi movie or book do you really wish existed right now?
Oh, gosh, gut instinct is time travel. But then you think about, but then you could really mess up the timeline, or could you not mess it up because it's already set and it was predestined that you were going to go back? I don't know those things, but time travel would be really cool because there are some really great historical figures I'd like to go back in time and meet, find out if they're really like what history says they are. So,
as they say, history is written by the victors. So,
yeah, exactly. Go back and meet some folks. The only thing would be probably the language barrier. So, hopefully, maybe from Douglas Adams' book, the Babelfish. Yeah, I could put a Babelfish in my ear and go back in time. And I honestly, I'd like to go back in time and meet Jesus Christ. I'd like to talk to him.
Yeah?
Just sit down and just chat with him.
That's awesome.
So. Yeah, but I'd have to have a Babelfish.
Right, because you don't understand, was it Mesopotamian? What is it?
Aramaic.
Aramaic, Aramaic.
And he wouldn't get English
at all. All right, let's go to this next one. Ooh, if money wasn't an issue, what would you do with your time?
Travel.
Was number 1 on your list to travel to? Any destination, could be anywhere. Could be somewhere you've gone before or somewhere new. Or
I'd like to explore the ruins at maybe Machu Picchu or Pumapunku. Go down to South America. If the geopolitical situation were better, which would be awesome, I'd like to go to Iraq and go to like the ancient areas over there, the ruins, or maybe to Turkey, to Göbekli Tepe, because I'm just fascinated by what people were doing, hundreds or thousands of years ago, and how did they do it?
Right. That's a form of time travel in and of itself, right there.
Yeah. But then I'd also like to go to Edinburgh, maybe Glasgow, some places like that. I don't know about London. London would be I hear it's really expensive.
Yeah.
Just to go there and ride that big Ferris wheel and look at the big clock. But I
don't know. I'd like to go. I mean, I definitely could go to London, see a show at West End or something like that.
That'd be nice.
Or go to Stratford upon Avon, see the William Shakespeare Theatre, the Globe. That'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool.
All right, final question here.
Is this the one where I win the money?
Yes.
All right. That's the only reason I'm here.
It should be an easy one. What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh, me. You know what? I don't know. I feel like the guy on Monty Python. I don't know. You know what? I would have to say Reinhardt's.
Oh,
I love Reinhardt's.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, you just can't beat their shrimp. The fried shrimp is just so good. And that's probably my favorite go-to thing.
Yeah, I do love their French fries. Those hand-cut fries.
Yes.
Those are really good.
Golly Moses.
Reinhardt's Beyond Casual.
Yeah.
Is it still considered an oyster bar or?
Yeah, it's still Reinhardt's Oyster Bar.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, here in Augusta, and there's one up in Martinez, Evans area
on
as
Bel
well.
Air Road.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have a particular favorite one between the two locations? Because I got to tell you, I remember going to the original Reinhardt's when I first started in radio and using Barney Bucks, and it was just just like a little 3-room in the house that's there now.
Yeah,
And of course they've expanded. I remember that from when I was 15 years old going there. And of course, everybody writes their names on the walls and the tables, and every surface in there has somebody written on it. It amazed me when they opened the new location on Bel Air Road that it looked like it'd been there 30 years because it was writing over everything.
Yeah. I between the two, you know, not a knock on the Bel Air Road location, but there's just nothing like the original. The new one is kind of like if the original casts a shadow, it looks a lot like it, but it's just not the same. But there's good people there. The food is good. I've gone there. I've enjoyed it. But it's just something about going back and talking about working in radio and getting those little Barney Bucks, the little purple gift certificates. Used to when I first started, I was so broke. Working in radio.
How broke were you?
I had my emergency Barney Buck that I would keep in my wallet. I had one $10 gift certificate I would keep in my wallet. And at the time, you could get a cheeseburger and fries, and it was right at about $8.50, $9. And I knew if I got to the point where I was absolutely dead broke, no money, that I had that. And their burgers are so big that I could get one and I could make 2 meals out of that one burger, so I could have lunch and dinner. Or if I really had to stretch it to payday, I could have lunch on Wednesday, lunch on Thursday till I got paid. And if I got it to go, I didn't have to worry about leaving a tip and shorten the server a tip. So I would just order it to go, drive up, pick it up, and go.
Right. Because you couldn't live a tip on the Barney Bucks.
Yeah. And I would just, I'd feel bad about not tipping the bartender, especially after, years later I was a bartender there and appreciated tips on to-go orders especially. But that was my backup. I knew I could eat for 2 days or 2 meals on that Barney Buck. That was my nuclear option that I carried in my wallet. If I was dead broke, I could eat twice.
Yeah, that's good stuff there too, though. Chicken fingers amazing, burgers are amazing. I used to love get the burger there. I love cheeseburgers, but what I would do is I'd get the burger and get them they had this stuff called R&R spread.
Yeah.
And I would get that because it's like a cream cheese garlic something spread. I'd get that instead of cheese on the burger. Man,
you just gave me an idea. I've never tried that.
Dude, just do that instead of regular cheese. Get the R&R spread on. Oh my gosh, it will change your life so good.
Gates of heaven will open.
Man. Dale, thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Man, thank you for honoring me with an invitation, man. It's
Absolutely.
Great. So proud of you for getting this thing going. I know we've been talking about it for a while, and like you said, you finally hit the big red button.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure, man.
Well, I appreciate you. If folks want to find you, if you want to be found, do you want to be found? Where can they look you out? I mean, you are an insurance salesman. I'm sure if folks need insurance, they might want to reach out to you.
Yeah. Well, you can find me on Facebook. It's just Dale Thomas. I'm the guy in the kilt with my son standing next to me in a kilt. If you look up Dale Thomas on Facebook, or you can email me, rthomas3, the number 3, @Kemper.com. That's my company email. You can reach out to me that way, and I'd be glad to get in touch with you there.
Is that KEMPER?
It is indeed.
Awesome. Well, Dale, thank you again. I'll have to have you on again because, I mean, this only scratched the surface of some of the stuff we could talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But I had to catch up first. So we'll call this part 1.
Part 1, man.
Part 2 to be determined at some point in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in to Chewing the Fat. You can find me on all the socials at Chewing the Fat BR, and that's like Big Rob, Chewing the Fat BR on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Check out the podcast wherever you got your podcast, which is funny for me to say that because you're listening to the podcast right now. I don't know how to push all this stuff and advertise it completely yet.
Just listen, people.
It's just
good
listen.
stuff.
We'll have another episode soon. Thank you so much for tuning in to Chewing the Fat.